In today's video, I'm sharing 12 tiny habits or changes I made that have really improved the quality of my life, whether it comes to me being more productive and more organized, or more stress-free or healthier. All of these micro habits are a little bit random, but they have actually really helped me in my life, and they might help you too. Hello friends, and welcome back. If you're new here, my name's Jillz and I help women step into their power, become their best self, all that good stuff. So if that's something you want to do, you should consider subscribing and sticking around. Now, the first tiny habit is not really a habit, it's more just like a change that I made probably 2 years ago. And this might sound really basic and kind of silly, but it's really helped me. And that is adding a second hamper in my closet. So I have 2 hampers in my closet for myself. And when I get undressed at the end of the day, I put my clothes in either the hamper that's my colors hamper or my hamper that's my whites hamper. So it's already pre-organized, it's already pre-sorted out. And I know that sounds super basic and some of you guys might already be doing this, but I finally started doing this 2 years ago and it just made my life a lot easier. It made laundry a lot easier, and Cole has the same exact thing. He has 2 separate hampers, so it just makes it very easy. And I also have a little separate space in my closet for my dry cleaning, for anything that needs to be dry cleaned. So that's also pre-organized out already. In this video, we're talking about tiny habits or tiny changes, and this is a tiny change that just created a little bit more efficiency and organization in my household. The second tiny habit that I do is something I do every single week. And every Sunday night, I sit down, usually like after dinner, I'll sit down and I'll open my computer and I will plan out my entire week, roughly. And I use an app called Notion. This isn't sponsored. I just like them. It connects to my computer and my phone. So I just think that it's really efficient. And I have my agenda in there and everything. And so I plan out my week. I plan out the things that I want to do for work on certain days, like filming, for example. I plan out workout classes that I'd like to go to. I open up my calendar and I write down every single appointment or social event or anything that's like an actual meeting with a time. I write that down in my agenda and I bold it. And I basically kind of create a plan for the week. So before the week even starts, I know what I'm trying to achieve. And it is so much better when you wake up on Monday and so much more stress-free when you wake up and you already know what you're doing. But like I said, I plan out my week roughly. So I allow for flexibility. I don't like following a strict routine. I like listening to my body. I like listening to how I feel and what I need in that day. So I'm always keeping tabs on that, and I'm not trying to follow a strict routine for the rest of the week just because I wrote it in my Notion on Sunday night. But it helps me at a high level just to have a little bit more guidance and organization for the week ahead. This is just one tiny habit that I do to not only stay more organized, but to make sure that I'm living my life in accordance with my priorities and my goals. I do this every single Sunday night. It probably takes me 10 minutes max, and I just head into the week like a lot stronger. But also similar to that, the third tiny habit is that at the end of every single day, I'll go back through my list, my to-do list, and I'll see what things I have achieved, what I've gotten done, and what I haven't gotten done. And I will make sure that I write my to-do list for the next day before I go to bed. I basically want to get all of that stuff out of my brain. I want to be able to relax, switch out of productivity mode, be more in my relaxed feminine state. So I get everything out of my brain and I make a to-do list for the next day. And after I make that to-do list, I do not have to think about it for the rest of the night. And then I know exactly what I need to do the next day. But the important thing with this is that I think it's really important to be realistic with your to-dos. If you put way too much stuff on there, it's very likely that you won't actually get all that stuff done. And then this is my experience. I would just put way too much stuff on there and then I would always fall short and it would always stress me out. When in reality, I was filling my to-do list with so much stuff, it was not realistic. And so I was creating more stress in my life. And so I think it's really important to be honest with yourself about what you can actually achieve and what is realistic. And one thing that I like to do is to figure out my top 3 priorities for the day and make sure that those at least get done. And if those get done, then it was a good day. So the next few tiny habits are all actually tech related and have to do with my phone. So basically one thing that I started doing probably 6 months ago is that I started utilizing the modes function on my iPhone. So there's like a personal mode or or a work mode or focus mode. And it took me a little bit of time to set up exactly how I wanted to, but once I did, it helped me be much more intentional with me being productive and focused, and then me being much more intentional with winding down and relaxing and shifting more into my own personal mode. So right now it's on work mode, so it's super boring. And then my home screen is work-related things. Like I have my Notion that I talked about, the weather because I like the weather, calendar, email, Pages app because I use Pages a lot to write things, and then different things on the second screen that are like work-related apps like Asana or YouTube Studio or Upwork, which is like a freelance site, things like that. I also have an app on work mode that's for my lights for filming. I can turn them all on through an app, and it's actually pretty cool. I'm gonna show you. Pretty cool. Oop, didn't mean to do that again. And then I have my personal mode, which then shifts to more of a personal screen, and then the home screen is more personal. I do still have my Notion on there because I like having that. Then I have Pinterest, which is like inspirational things, and my CoStar, which is an astrology app. And then I have other things like Kindara, which is how I track my cycle, or Google Home or things like that, or my app for the Hatch, which is like my alarm clock. So I basically have two separate phones, but in one phone, and it's actually set up by time. So usually around like work hours, Monday through Friday, it'll be in work mode, but then once it's around 5:30 or 6, I can't remember, it automatically shifts to personal mode. And if I do finish more of the work-related tasks, productivity-related tasks earlier in the day, like 4 p.m., I will then go into my phone and shift to personal mode. And that's kind of like me clocking out for the day almost, and a tiny habit that I do to relax a little bit more and shift into a more feminine state. I love little tech habits like this. I think they're fun and they just help me be more organized and more intentional with my time and energy. But it is just really cool how you can set up different apps in different modes so they only show up in certain modes. And you can always search them if you need them. Like if you're in work mode but you need to access something that's in your personal mode, you can just search it, it'll still come up. But it's just kind of nice that you can have two completely different settings. And the way that you do this is you just click settings on your iPhone and then you click on focus, and then you can from there set up the different like personal mode or work mode or sleep mode. Another tiny change, something that I did probably 2 or 3 years ago and I've never looked back, is that I turned off basically all of my notifications for every single app. I don't get notifications for emails. I don't get DM notifications for Instagram. I don't get any sort of social media notifications ever. I really don't think I get any other notifications except for texts and calls. And I think that everybody should turn off all of the notifications that they can. I think that they can be such a distraction during the day and they can get so overwhelming and just drain you energetically. They were draining me. And so I literally turned them all off. And I used to have an Apple Watch where I would just keep getting notifications all day, and it started to drive me crazy. So I turned everything off, or at least most notifications off, and it really helped me to regain my sanity and my life. And another tip though is also to utilize Do Not Disturb. The Do Not Disturb function on iPhones is a spectacular function that they have added several years ago, and we all need to be utilizing it. Like, we just don't need to be bombarded by notifications all day or texts or even calls all day. It's just too much and it's distracting and it takes you out of whatever you were doing. I find that with like all of those notifications, it feels like you're not really living your life anymore. You're just responding to what's being thrown at you. Now, the next little tiny tech habit is something that has helped me immensely, and that is using the reminders function or the reminders app on your iPhone, and I use it using Siri. So for example, I hold the side button down, remind me that it's Rebecca's birthday next Thursday, and there you go. And I can get it out of my brain, and this has never failed me. I use this all the time. Or maybe when I'm driving in the car and I realize that I really need to buy more of my skincare products and I'm running out. Remind me tonight to buy my skincare products. And there you go. It's just so easy. And the good thing about this and why it works so well for me is, like I said, I don't have very many notifications on my phone. I'm not getting emails all the time or, Instagram comment alerts or anything like that. So because I don't have that many notifications, I always see my reminders. Where, for example, my husband, he has all of his notifications on. He's constantly getting work emails like every 2 minutes, just one after another, one after another. So when he uses reminders, he always just kind kind of misses it. It doesn't really work for him because he's already getting so many notifications. But so this is a tiny little habit to make sure that I'm not forgetting little things, and it's so easy to use just using Siri. Now, the seventh tiny habit is also regarding my phone, but it's different. And so something that I have done recently over the past several months is when I go like to dinner, for example, with my husband for like a date night, oftentimes I will either leave my phone at home or I'll leave it in the car while we're eating. And I always enjoy my meals so much more. We're both able to be more present with each other, and I just don't like having my phone on me all the time. For some reason, it just doesn't make me feel good. I like putting it away somewhere for a little bit, and he always has his phone. So it's like we always have that if we need to, and I don't need to bring mine. And sometimes when we do go on date night, like obviously he's paying too, so I just won't bring anything, like no purse, no phone, no wallet, no anything. And it's really nice. I wouldn't recommend driving somewhere without your phone. Like I would never leave my phone at home if I was going somewhere alone. I would always probably have it with me, but I would just keep it in my purse and not take it out. Or if you can, leave it in the car. Now, the next two tiny habits are hair care related. And so the next habit is shampooing my hair twice. And if you've ever read the back of a shampoo bottle, it says that you're supposed to shampoo your hair twice. And I always thought that's just because they want you to use more shampoo and like buy more shampoo. But actually my hairdresser, probably like a year ago or 2 years ago probably, recommended to me that I start shampooing my hair twice, and that it's actually very beneficial for like really cleansing your hair, especially if you've used a lot of product. And so this is a little habit that I do every time I wash my hair. I now shampoo twice, and I do think it really helps with my hair. I feel like the first shampoo gets off like the top layer of stuff, like product or things like that. And then the second layer kind of gets a little bit deeper and helps the scalp to get a little bit cleaner. I just feel like my hair feels a little bit better, looks a little bit better, and is cleaner after I shampoo twice. And that might also be because I do have quite fine hair, and so any sort of like oil or dirt or whatever can show up pretty easily. But this is just a little hair care habit that I have been doing now for probably a year or two, and I think it's really helped me. Now, the next tiny habit, number 9, is conditioner related. And that is every single time I put in my conditioner, I of course let it sit a little bit, right? To help it like permeate and make it super soft. But I also make sure that I don't let my conditioned hair, like my hair that's sitting in conditioner, I don't let it touch my skin or sit on my skin while it sits. So basically what I kind of do is I twist it a little bit loosely, and then I just very loosely wrap it up in a little bun. And because it's wet, it usually just stays there. But you can also bring like a clip in with you to make sure that it's secure. But this makes sure that no conditioner really touches your skin for a long amount of time, because conditioner is very, very pore clogging. And I learned this the hard way. There was a time several years ago where I kept getting like little bumps and acne on my back, and I could not figure out for the life of me what it was until all of a sudden I realized one day in the shower when I was applying my conditioner, I was like, oh my gosh, I think it's my conditioner. And then I all of a sudden started doing this habit of putting my hair up while it sits, and then all of my bumps, all of my acne went away magically overnight. Conditioner can be very pore clogging and cause you acne. It should not be sitting on your skin. And then when I let my hair down and wash my conditioner out, that's when I then apply my body wash, and I make sure that I get my back and my chest really well, so there's no like conditioner residue left behind. I'm sure some people's skin is more sensitive than others, but I tend to be very sensitive to oils or whatever topical products that are very heavy and like pore clogging. Like for example, even coconut oil, sometimes I don't like to use that too much because that is also very pore clogging. So anyway, some of you probably already do this or have maybe learned the hard way like I did, but if you don't, you should really get that conditioner off of your skin because it's just not the best. Now, tiny habit number 10 is journaling. And I recently started journaling again. I've always kind of journaled off and on, but I have been journaling every single day, and I just really, really love it. And I think journaling is an incredible tool for gaining clarity in your life and self-awareness and self-understanding. So I usually journal for about 10 minutes a day, and I just write everything and anything. Nothing is off limits. It doesn't have to make sense. I will usually kind of journal about my day a little bit, or certain feelings that I have, or certain stress that's been on my mind, or certain things that I'm working on. It could be literally anything. I also use journaling as a tool to help keep me accountable for the things that I am working on, for the things that I'm trying to improve in my life. Journaling has really helped me stay focused in my life and help me reflect on my life. And even just in the short amount of time that I've been journaling consistently every single day, I have noticed benefits. I have noticed improvements in my life, and not necessarily just like me being a better person. I mean, me feeling better, me having more understanding of myself and my life and my habits. Journaling can be an incredible tool, and I really do think that we can get massive benefits from it, even just from like 5-10 minutes a day tops. Oh, and also this is kind of just like a side note, but the journal that I got for my journaling, I saw this one on Amazon and I had to get it. It's basically a locked journal. I'll put it right here, but it's like you have to have a passcode to get in, and it kind of reminds me of my childhood, like the little locked diaries that I would have. Not that I think that anyone's gonna like come in and read my journal, but it just creates like an extra layer of privacy, and it makes me feel better about it. So if you're someone who's hesitant to journal and just get everything out because you think someone might read it, maybe get a locked one. Now moving on to the next tiny habit. Now I love my walks and everything like that, but I started incorporating more micro walks into my life. So literally like 5-minute tops sort of walks, either just by myself or with my dogs. For so often, if I didn't have like at least 25 to 30 minutes of time available, I would be like, oh, well, I can't go for a walk. Or if my walk wasn't 30 minutes long, then it didn't really mean much. But I have really learned the power and the impact of a micro walk. Like after dinner, if it's already getting really dark and stuff and I don't want to go for a full walk, sometimes I'll just go for a tiny little jaunt around the cul-de-sac and I'll be back in the house in like 4 minutes, but I feel so much better. I feel healthier. I got some time outside. Or maybe if I've been working at my computer for 2 hours, sometimes I'll just go for a tiny little micro walk, like 5 minutes, and then I will be ready to go again. But I feel so much better and I have so much more clarity. Don't discount the power of a micro walk. They can help reset your day, reset your energy, and help you feel so much better and healthier. Last tiny habit, number 12, is making sure that I eat before I go to the grocery store. Because if I go to the grocery store and I'm, even a little bit hungry, I will all of a sudden start buying all of these chips, all of these desserts and cookies and things like that. But personally, I do best when I don't have those things in my house. I like for my home at least to be a very clean environment. I might have some like dark chocolate and things like that sometimes, but not anything crazy. And if I do want to eat a little bit something more than that, maybe like a dessert or something, then I'll make it a thing. I'll make it a moment. Like I'll go for ice cream with Cole and have like an ice cream date, make it fun. When I'm at home and I'm doing all my home cooking, I like it to be clean. And so the things that I get at the grocery store, I need for them to be clean. And when I go grocery shopping, when I'm hungry, it doesn't turn out that way. When I go grocery shopping right after I ate, then it always does. This is a tiny little hack that has really helped me eat better when I'm at home. That is it. Let me know if there's any tiny habits or tiny hacks that you guys have done that have really improved the quality of your life. I would love to know, and I'm sure everyone else would love to know as well. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I always appreciate you staying until the very end, and I will see you next time in my next video. Bye.